6, 7, 8. Hit the count, dip it clean, stand it up, lock it in. Gym lights, head tight, music loud. Friday night, from the car to the mat. Every rep, every set, all heart, all in. Run it back again. Cheer moms, cheer dads, cheer life, no cap. Wow, wow, wow. David. Cheer Dads Unfiltered.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to Cheer Dads, episode 14. And I'm just going to say it. I think we've been looking at this sport wrong. We walked into this thinking it was fun, sideline. This really is a machine. Billions of dollars, pressure, injuries, and somehow we're still clapping for things that should really be the bare minimum. Tonight, we're going to say some stuff people might not like. So let's get into it and start there. I really want to talk to you, Jeff, first on, if your team hits 0 and gets 4th, is that a success or a failure?
I think it's a failure because you didn't win. I still think hitting 0, it's good. Yeah, I'm glad your team hit 0. I'm glad that nobody fell and that, they did a positive routine, but you still failed at beating the rubric. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so yeah, you hit 0, but it is a participation trophy. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for putting on a good show, but you didn't beat the rubric. Do you know what I mean? So I think it is a failure. If you're not placing, you need to look at what you're doing. Even if you're hitting 0, look at what you're doing. Call Gabby, shout out Score Sheets with Gabby. Call her and say, hey, look at my routine. What am I doing? What can we do better? You know what I mean? Look at your people. Do tape, like David said. You know what I mean? Pull the tape up. Look at it. Hey, are all my kids' legs straight when they're doing back walkovers? Are they taking that, like we found out, taking that second after they land to really plan it so the judges are like, okay, they know what they're doing. Just because you hit 0 and you don't win, to me, it's a failure. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really want to, repeat last episode as we dig into this and stuff, but I do think we missed something in all this hit 0 stuff is that what if chasing 0 is actually just keeping teams average? Because I thought we come in and they make, hit 0 be such a big thing, right? Like, oh, hit 0, and it's just a clean routine. It just means you did what you were supposed to do. Yeah. And so I guess, like, David, to you, are teams playing safe by trying to hit the 0 or instead of playing to win and try to do things and push the difficulty and execution of the routine?
I don't know if they're not pushing the difficulty. I think most teams are smart. They're going to be maxing out the difficulty. They just may not be focusing on as much on execution and other areas where they can actually, or they might be taking, I don't think that hit 0 is causing the problem. Honestly, I think it's that you're playing the rubric, right? So if you can only get 4 points for difficulty and you've already got those 4 points, you're not going to do a single thing beyond that. It doesn't benefit you at all. So teams are not trying to put their best possible routine, the most advanced routine on the floor. They're trying to put a routine that's going to max out your difficulty and that the team can do as clean as possible. So keep it as simple and as easy as possible while also max out your difficulty. That's what they're all going to try to do. And so it does. It keeps us where, like, by the end of the season, you're like, the routines can only get so much better from the beginning of the season to the end because you can't add so much more because there's no benefit other than your execution. So they just end up just focusing on the execution so much and not doing these crazy stunts and things like that, like you see in the open rubric where that stuff is allowed.
What would you do if you were a gym owner and a coach of some squads? What would be your mentality going into comp season?
If you want to win, you max out your difficulty and maximize your execution. So you focus on your execution, maximize your difficulty, cut out the fluff, cut out anything above and beyond. But that's just because you're playing the rubric and you have to kind of play the game. But again, I don't think that puts the best product out on the floor where it allows your girls to really show off. We have some, girls on our team who can do things above and beyond what's on our rubric, and they're not able to do those things because of that.
What about you, Jeff?
David, to me, it kind of reminds me of like some of these schools nowadays, right? They're teaching to the test.
Yep.
They want their kids to pass that test so that their school gets the A grade, so that they can show, so other parents come to their school. So all they're doing is teaching to the test. That's all we're doing. We're teaching to the rubric. We're not asking the girls to learn back tucks. We're not asking them to learn, everybody do a back walkover and do a cartwheel and do a back tuck to a arabesque to a pyramid, whatever.
I've come such a long way. Look at you now. Look, Mom.
Most of those were actual cheer terms. That was impressive.
I was trying to throw words out there. Look at him naming names. Yeah, that's all we're doing is we're teaching to the test, and it's unfortunate because I feel like these girls are missing out. I do. I really feel like I do. I feel like some of these girls are missing out. I mean, even in the All-Star League, right? Like the level 2, level 3, I think some of them can perform way higher than they're really allowed to perform because they're so afraid to break out of the rubric and do things that they don't need to do. Yeah. When they really could do a whole bunch of cool stuff, you know what I mean? And I don't know. Yeah. I'm kind of wondering, I'd like to see a competition that's comparative.
Yeah, I mean, and the argument there is, okay, if you're in level 3 and you could do all these things, well, then your kid shouldn't be in level 3. They should be in level 4. They should be in level 5. They can go, higher levels. But obviously, when you're a youth, your youth can only be at so many levels. So if you're that far ahead and you're in youth, it's like you can only really be in level 1 or 2. You're not going to be in level 3, 4, 5 as a 8-year-old. So I mean, there's definitely some different, challenges there, but I think that, like you said, we kind of mentioned that the system of how big this thing is, the system really puts everything into a box as to what you can do at each level. And if your kid's in that level, they're going to be put in a box along with it. Yeah.
So clean is actually limiting how good you could be or how good a team could be.
100%.
Yeah. It rewards teams for playing it safe, for sure.
And I think that's what we found out even after our first or second comp when we adjusted our pyramid and our fall and doing some of that because we didn't want to risk it, right? And we wanted to play towards this rubric. And I think that was such a big learning for us, right? As we talk about being first-time dads and getting into this, it really blew my mind knowing that we go against a rubric, not a competitive literally everybody's doing the same kind of routine. Yep. We've watched now level 5, level 6. They all have to make a pyramid at some time. They all have to have a dance at some point.
And typically the pyramid is right before they go into the dance at the end. I mean, it's very similar, but it's like the rubric rewards it. It's like, why not do it in a structured way that allows the coaches, the judges to see, here's what I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this, and that's your whole goal. And so it definitely, it changes things a little bit for sure.
It does. It does. Cool. So I don't want to go into scoring again necessarily with you, David, but what I do want to talk about for dads and everybody that's still, I mean, I was talking with some people in DMs, they're 5 years in still not knowing scoring and still really, I'm like, oh, for real? They're like, dude, I'm 5 years in. I still don't get it. I don't really try to pay attention to it. Yeah. But what actually, I'm talking like as many details as you've been able to kind of figure out. What separates first from fifth if, say, the whole division hits 0? No deductions, everybody's clean. What really then separates that first to that fifth? Yeah,
I mean, so a deduction basically just means you didn't have someone physically fall and hit the mat or something like that. So it doesn't have to be, you can be unclean and still hit 0. You can have girls stumbling around. You can have, unstable lifts and things and still hit 0. As long as nobody actually physically falls and you don't have a big deduction or something. So the big thing is execution, right? Most teams are smart enough to max out their difficulty levels and do all the skills they need to max those things out. But the execution is where it comes down to. And they basically break it down in 5 drivers for each execution category. So it's one's technique, which is basically, are you doing the move correctly? Are your lines, your shape that you're supposed to get into, all those things happening correctly? Then you have stability control. That means when they're doing the lifts, right? Are you moving around? Are you stable when you do your back walkover? Are you kind of going off to the side, or are you stable and you can come to a control at the end of it? Then you got synchronization, right? This is timing. If they're all supposed to do back walkover at the same time as one off, this is where one person can hurt the entire team. Wow. One person's off, the synchronization's off, you lose points on that.
Really?
Yes. So that's huge. And then you have uniformity. That's just basically, you want it to be consistent throughout. So if you did a back walkover well, the first time and the second time you're not doing as good as it's inconsistent, or one group's doing really well over here and the other group's not doing so great, you can lose points there as well. And then our last is completion to finish. So that means like you need to finish a skill before you start the next skill. So don't, we kind of talk about with your feet, right? You do back walkover and plant your feet, squeeze your ankles together, and then move on. Or with some of our stunts, we'll see that they kind of go into one move and they start in the second move before they actually finish it. So making sure you finish those things. So that goes through like your tumbling, stunt, dance, all those things have all these drivers. And the judges basically will score each of those as like a below, meets, or exceeds. And based off of where it falls in that category, you get a range of points that they assign to it from that. So those are all those little things add up to make the difference. That's those decimal points that we see that separate teams. Is it comes down to all those details of execution, which is why, again, that's what they focus on. They don't focus on doing anything crazy. They're just like, do everything we need to max out our difficulty, and then we're going to focus and practice on all these details and mastering them.
I'm impressed at how far this man has come.
It's like I'm reading a book.
This was a master class.
I know, right?
I mean, that's so
It's deep.
crazy. It's you having fun?
It's deep. I do. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
You've went really much further along than I thought he has. He has become our resident judge, and he's not even in it.
Right.
He could be judging. That's the problem.
The problem is I don't know what it looks like. I know what the rules are. I hear it, but if you told me I don't know what an airbest looks like. So that's
Tom did one.
This is my problem here.
I want to put it out there. I really hope someone can like invite David to a comp as like a bring your kid to work day. Bring David to work day. Like, yo, Gabby, Judge Mimi, can we get you all to like get
sit up
David
there
to come with you? Because even from Gabby, right, like watching all of that, that's what I think is so crazy, is what you just broke down just on that level was so complicated. I can't imagine watching all that. And then we talk about uniforms playing something into it, right? Like,
the whole time he's talking, I'm thinking about uniforms, right?
Yeah.
So the back walkovers, the has to be in sync and everything. And I'm like, that's funny because if you have bright white shoes, I feel like that's pretty easy to pick out. But then you see the teams that have like black shoes and black socks or pants on, and you're like, I get it. You know what I mean? Like,
I get it.
So it definitely matters. You have these judges that keep telling us it doesn't matter. Gabby's like, oh, it doesn't matter. Judge Mimi's like, it doesn't matter. Now this new one, Queen Bee. Queen Bee.
I love her.
I do too. I absolutely love her. I love their new podcast. Everybody should
Yeah.
listen to that new podcast. It's going to be amazing. But they're all telling us it doesn't matter. If it doesn't matter, why is every team doing it?
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
I mean, what do you think about that, Dave? What do you think about
I mean, it's, to me, I think there's some things that don't matter. Some people say like the brand name matters or things like that. I don't think I can see where the judges stand. They can't see if there's a V on your uniform or if it says Rebel or whatever it is. I don't think that matters. The colors, you can't tell me it doesn't matter.
Right.
Because as a judge, you're looking for things to reduce their points, right? There's the assumption that things are right, and you're looking for that one bent leg. And your assumption is you didn't see a bent leg, that there weren't any bent legs, right? So then it benefits you to hide those things. It's not like you have to confirm and make sure these things are perfect. You're just looking for bad stuff. Black on black, like nobody can tell me that it's just as easy to see as white on black. It's just not.
Right. 100%.
100%. Well, there you have it, man. Hit Zero doesn't win. It just kind of keeps you in it. There's a lot going on outside with that rubric. And for the other dads and parents out there, like, the second something goes wrong, you really realize how quick and how fragile all of this really is for these girls.
Yep.
All right.
And so I kind of want to talk about Kenley on our squad, and what we got kind of dealing in our season for those that have probably dealt with this. Our undisclosed captain, right? Our vet on the squad, was doing a back handspring, broke both middle fingers.
Yeah.
Like, might be out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. Yeah.
And just like that, everything changed.
Mm-hmm.
We just had an injury. We just had a villain.
Did.
Shout out to our MVP. Our fill-in was legit. When I saw her come back last week, I was like, wait, what? I was like, yeah.
You're happy, but at the same time, you're sad because you know why she's back, but you don't know why she's back. So you're hoping the kid that's on your team is actually okay.
Yep.
And it turns out to be Kenley. Hey, we said your name right.
Hey,
Ken Lee.
everyone, it's Ken Lee.
Ken Lee.
If you haven't been watching along and following along, I'm very bad with names. I called this man Chris for an entire 9-month run. And it was Ken Lee, I was saying, and it's Ken Lee. And I want to ask you, Jeff, because from a dad, right? Like, you guys got very protective, very. You guys jumped in. And what hits you first as a dad when you heard this and kind of went through this, that our kind of undisclosed captain is out now potentially for the we're gonna miss a showcase and our final comp.
Yeah, possibly. I think as a dad, when you're on a team, you kind of become the team dad. Every dad does, and you care about all the kids on the team, and you care about their health and their well-being, and you don't want to see any of them get hurt. So when you see one of your teammates, because they're our teammates, they really are. We're part of this team. And when you see one of your teammates who's down like that with both of her middle fingers in braces, first of all, I'm like, hey, you're going to need those fingers later on in life, girl. Like, don't break those two. Those are some.
Yeah.
Well, he's like, for medical reasons, no, you need your middle fingers later on in life.
Yeah.
You have to express yourself sometimes, Tom. But I mean, you don't want to see kids get hurt. And that's the dad in me, man. I don't want to see kids get hurt. And I want to see our team and Delilah, shout out to you. Thank you for helping us, because I think you are part of our team now. But, it's sad when part of our main team goes down. It really is. Yeah. It's hard.
I felt it tug at you,
Yeah,
it was
it's tough.
Because I know, if that was Ruby, right?
Oh, yeah.
How would you have handled it if it was roles reversed, I guess, right? This is your kid.
Yeah.
The season's been going. You've been riding this high, and she's going to miss potentially the end.
And it's tough. It truly is tough. But I mean, as a dad, you got to support your child. And I like that Kenley's still coming here, you know what I mean? And she's still supporting the team, because even though she's not performing, she's performing. She's in there showing Delilah, hey, do this, this, and this. And Delilah's listening to her because Kenley knows what she's talking about. You know what I mean? The coaches don't have time to do the whole thing and show you Kenley's part. So Kenley is still needed.
Yeah.
So if Ruby got hurt or something, happened to her, God forbid, knock on wood, that nothing does, or any rest of our girls, and they all stay healthy, I would still want Ruby to show up and support her team. You know what I mean? And it'll be hard. I know it's hard because I know I got injured. I popped all the fingers.
I was going to ask you. Yeah.
I got injured and I popped all the fingers on my hand and I wasn't able to play. And one of the hardest things to do is to watch something knowing that there's nothing you can do to help them.
Yeah.
So I know that feeling. I know the feeling. I know the feeling Kenley's going to have if she has to sit out of the competition, that she has going to have to sit there and watch them perform, and there's nothing she can do to make them better.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's tough. It's tough. And shout out to these girls at this young age that have to go through that.
Yeah.
And I just hope they know that we all support them and we stand behind them. And we're proud of them.
We are proud of them.
Yeah.
And I have a buddy, my son's buddy, grew up with them in the neighborhood. He turned 18 yesterday. Shout out to him. And he, at the beginning of the season or school, he's a senior in high school, blew out his ACL, dude, in a spring training baseball game.
That's tough.
Took a helmet to the knee and is now didn't get to play baseball for the whole year. And he made it to varsity.
Yeah.
He was going to be the closing pitcher, and that's it. Season was a wrap. And honestly, a lot of tears. It was like, dude, I cried. I was very, dude, the whole senior year. That's what you look forward to. Now, this isn't just a senior year like that, but who knows? As we all know, we're already talking about next season.
She's been on Starlights for a couple of years. This is probably her last season on Starlights. So for her, she's,
right?
all season long, and she's also on junior high, her junior high cheer team, same thing, all season long. And so for it to be the big championship, the end of it like this, and for her to go down, she was devastated. Her mom said that she's still, it's been a week now, and she's still struggling.
It's one of those moments, right, where mentally, this is how you got to
understandable.
show up. But
it tells you how much she cares about it. Yeah, it would have been really easy to be, I'm out. Okay, I'm not going to show up. I'm not going to do the rest of the practices. I'm going to take some time off, do this, and she wasn't down for that at all.
Well, and that's why I want to ask you, David, right? Being a Bears guy, you deal with a lot of injuries. But we're going to get some audio effects in here. Why isn't this like football when you do have, it's next man up, right? I don't feel like that translates to over here. Can you explain, kind of a little bit about that?
I think it is and it isn't. We always say next man up in football, but it's not like we do next man up and we still run the exact same offense, right? Your quarterback goes down and you get a backup in there. It's not, okay, next man up, we're just going to run the exact same plays. It's, okay, our running back's got to step up. Our wide receiver's got to step up. Our line's got to step up. You can't there's no way for them to do that. The rest of our kids, the rest of the girls can't step up and offset Kenley not being there, right? Like there's no way for that to happen. And so it really is just that one position. So, I mean, it's next man up is in, she's out, and we have a fill-in for that next day. I know that was hard for her, is just knowing how quickly you feel replaced like that. But
that's a piece of it, right? Is all of a sudden like somebody's in your spot, you know?
Yeah.
And I gotta be honest, maybe you're nitpicking too. Like, let's just be truthful. I want to
yeah.
talk about what people won't talk about. And I think like when I got hurt and I'd have the other person come in for me, I'm like, oh, dude, you're not doing it like I would do it. And it's like,
Yep.
well, you're not me, right?
Exactly.
Like, I get that. So it's hard to battle.
But what's like the thing what's different is she has to do it how she does it. I mean, this is again, the details all matter. There's not a lot of room for, you know, create your own creativity or your own personal brand on these moves. It's like, you got to do these moves and you got to do it exactly like this. And this is how she did it.
Right.
And so it is, she's got to really jump in and do the exact same thing that she was doing and be just as good as it. Where other sports, like I said, everyone else can kind of rise up around you and make up for the fact that this player may not be the same player the other one is.
Yeah, not only that, this girl has to step in and be the lead.
Yeah,
The
the
lead.
I
She
mean, like I
had a
said,
the
centerpiece.
quarterback.
I mean, there's a part of our song that says, I'm the captain of the squad, and that's her part, where
Yeah,
she's the
I'm
only
the
one that
captain.
is doing
Yeah.
the move.
Right.
So, I mean, it's very clear who that is. And so I think it's also hard for our girls now to have somebody else in that position, because it was the unofficial captain of the squad, the lead person of this routine. To have somebody else come in and fill it. They obviously know our fill-in, but that's got to be hard for everyone.
So for both of you, I gotta ask too, and either of you can take it, like, how does this one athlete change everything when it comes down to the formations, the timing, the trust of what these girls are doing? Do either of you kind of like see the impact that can have too?
I think what's good with that is that Delilah knows what she's doing. You know what I mean? So it's not like the girls have somebody coming in where they don't trust that person. You know what I mean? Where they're like, oh, well, how are we going to follow somebody that we really shouldn't be following? You know what I mean? Where I feel like they can look at Delilah and see how quickly that she got it the last time, and they can rally behind that. And like I said, our girls are competitive. You know what I mean? They all have confidence and they build each other up, which is really cool. And I've seen that in other cheer teams too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just our cheer team. I've seen the confidence and the rallying with pretty much every cheer team I've seen so far.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think a lot of people can resonate with that. It's just rallying around that person.
Yeah.
And Delilah, I think, can step into that role and be the lead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I think it's also another way is different than football is like your quarterback goes down. The person who steps up is their backup, right? They're their backup for a reason. They weren't as good. This isn't that situation. Delilah is not a backup who's sitting around.
True.
She's performing at a high level, a higher level. And so she can jump in, and this is all, everything that we're doing is all in her wheelhouse. These are not new skills, new things to her. She's not having to learn something new. She's just learning a new routine, but she can do all the skills that are in the routine.
You know, you don't lose. What I get from this is that you don't lose a player. You do lose part of the routine.
Yeah.
And I know Delilah's going to come in and crush.
Oh, yeah.
Kinley's crushed right
Yeah.
by it all. The girls are going to rally, but at the same time, we saw it when our other athlete went down. You just lose the DNA.
Yeah.
Because at the same time, like you said with football and some sports, like when you basketball, you lose your power forward that brings the ball up. Good luck. You'll see the disorganization on the court so fast because nobody knows what to do with the ball now.
Yep.
Because they're looking at their point guard to kind of drive that for them. Same in football. Man, your quarterback goes down in the third quarter. You're mounting your comeback. They fall down, blow out their knee. The backup comes in. It's not the same.
No.
Well, look what happened to Kansas City, right? My
Yeah.
homies went down. That was it. They were
Yeah,
like,
those seasons-
they're like, we're done. You know what I mean? Like,
It's the DNA, and Ken Lee, shout out, is our DNA. I really do believe that.
Yeah.
But Delilah also is. She's come in and like, I want her to be at our party at the end of the year, our banquet. I want her to be a part of the squad.
Yeah, she's part of the family.
If we
For
do
sure.
awards at shit,
for sure.
it's like six man. You know, like in basketball, it's
Right.
like the
Yep.
6-man award. Like
Yep.
we couldn't have done it without Pat Beverly. You know,
No.
like hey, we gotta have Pat.
And it tells you how much those backups are so important to these teams.
Oh, yeah.
They're not having someone like that. They can jump in. I mean, it would have wrecked us. So it's a huge part of cheer.
And that's something I thought was very interesting about this whole season and everything else too, is we literally have the exact amount of people we need on the mat.
Yep.
I would think that we would have 3 or 4 girls doing things through the year with us that if something happened, they were a part of Starlights. Like, they were a part of our squad the whole year, but that doesn't happen in cheer.
Mm-mm.
You just get called up or down.
Yeah, like I said, there's no backups. There's not people sitting there, and if they're on the mat, they got to be used. You know, like you lose points if you got someone out there who's not doing certain things. The more people you have participate
Really?
in your pyramids and your stunts and things like that, the more points you can get. So you don't want people just hiding in the back.
That's crazy. And I think this is like where I think parents and all of us and even us getting into this didn't really fully understand like what these kids are actually dealing with. And as we're kind of
Yeah.
coming to the tail end of our season, a lot of you out there, Worlds right around the corner, shout out, right?
Yeah.
I think there's 3,000 teams I saw.
Wow.
I was like, the chaos that must be, man. Like, it's going to be wild.
Also,
but
the money.
hey, the money.
3,000 teams traveling
But
there. You know what it
imagine,
costs each of those kids?
like not having any idea about the cheer world or the competitive anything, and you're like, your family's like, we should go to Disney World, and you're like, let's
Oh,
go this
yeah.
weekend. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, it's like,
I've been there.
we shouldn't have went this
I've been
weekend.
We went to Disneyland one time, and almost the exact same thing happened. And it was one of those times where it should not be busy at all, and it was absolutely packed. We just left and went home at like 3 o'clock because it wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well, I can't wait.
check your calendars.
Can't wait for
folks.
4 hours to see the
Yeah.
Pirates, man. I still got time for that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Captain Jack Sparrow, but I ain't
Yeah.
got time for
No.
you today, man. Like,
Yeah.
No.
It's the money, the time, the stress, and I just am really grasping. And I love that our girls at the root of all this are having fun.
Yeah.
I don't think they're seeing the pressure, but as a parent, knowing where this is going and the life that it's going to lead, I don't think the hardest part of cheer is physical. I think it's the mental.
Oh yeah.
Physically, don't get me wrong, tough, but mental. Like, I'm going to throw this out to both of you. What's worse, failing or being the reason your team loses?
I anytime you're the team that your team loses, to me that's the worst possible thing is to let your team down. To me it's like if think about it in football, right? People fail every single play, right? Like almost. I mean, you're probably going to fail just as many times as you're going
They
to
hit
succeed in it,
zero.
right? But it's not going to cost your team every play. But when you fail that one time and you drop that ball or whatever it is, and you let your team down, that's the worst, and it's the worst possible. That one mistake that's the one that's going to be remembered by everybody.
who was that guy, Vernon Meyer, that fumbled it on like the 1 yard line for Cleveland and like cost it?
Yep.
Can you imagine, and just not just letting your team down, but letting a city
state
down?
down?
Yeah.
You know what I
Letting
mean?
fans
Like,
down. Yeah.
like it, and just like I saw that. You ever see it was like Believe Land on ESPN, the 60 for 60 Believe
Mhm.
Land, when he's talking. Oh man, the emotions.
Yeah. You can
He
feel
goes,
it.
you gotta understand. I let a state down.
Yep.
He goes, and I live with that every single day of my life.
Yep.
I think a lot of people who aren't athletic and aren't in the competitive world don't understand that.
Yep.
What it actually means to compete and what it means to fail in a competition. You know
Yep.
what I mean? I mean, there's things that I know when I was playing football and rugby that if I would have done that one extra thing, I could be sitting in Tampa
Yep.
Bay right now. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I know that I've failed.
Yep.
And it's tough. You take those pads off for the last time and you know that there's no more putting these pads on
Yeah.
because you didn't play your 100%. You
Exactly.
know what I mean? It's tough.
Yeah, there's the Vince Lombardi quote my coach he made us memorize. You probably have heard it, but it basically says any man or woman's greatest moment, the moment they fulfillment they hold dear, is that moment when they've worked their heart out in a good cause and lie exhausted on the field of battle, victorious. Right, so you've just worked your heart out and you got nothing left. There's nothing worse. The worst feeling is when that you see that clock running down and you realize you got so much more in the tank that you didn't give and you
100%.
lost and you failed. So that's how it is with these girls, man. Like I said, those little things. It's like if I only practice harder, did I not take it serious enough? Was I screwing around? That's what happens when you fail. You question all those things,
Right.
and yeah, I'd rather lose as a team than be the reason it's my fault and I was the one that let the whole team down. For
100%.
sure.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, coming up short to your goal, even though everybody did give their best, right? Let's say you had a great
Yeah.
season. Came down to the wire. The Bucks had it, right? We almost didn't make our division this year, right? You put a good season together. You started out strong. Came down to what? The literal last game against the
Yeah.
Panthers for us to get in the door, right?
Yeah.
And if we had failed, okay, like a lot to go through. That was a whole collective effort.
Yep.
But if that game came down to one final play,
Yep.
we're going to playoffs or not, and Evans didn't catch the ball in a wide open play, or let's talk about the playoffs with the Bills and the Broncos and the other one that happened the next day with the Bills.
Yeah.
You catch the ball, but they say you didn't. So I think, I would rather us all give our best. We had a great season.
Yep.
Maybe we didn't make it, versus sitting there being like, I know it only came down to me.
100%. Yeah.
If I didn't hit my timing, if I didn't do what I needed to do, or if I did do that, we were in the door.
Yeah.
Right, 100%. Yeah.
That's ruthless. And so, Jeff, now that we're deeper in this, what pressure have you seen through the season because we started with none.
It was all like, hey.
You go back and listen to episode 1, we were just like,
I mean, even comp one, I think we like wanted to win, but we didn't feel like pressure. Like if we lose, we were like, all right, if we get third, like, you know, they're all new to this. And then now it's like, yeah, you go in and you feel that pressure. We want to win.
yeah, what does it felt like you for now? Are you seeing Ruby get more pressure?
No, man. You look at our girls perform under pressure like magicians. I don't understand it, man, because we see them in practice. You know what I mean? They're getting yelled at. They're missing this. They're missing that. But then when it comes competition time and the pressure's on, they're flying.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's like, whoa. They're just like completely different.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's more pressure on us. Like I said last time in that competition when we were sitting there, and it was like doing the wave, man. You know, you're like, you're gritting your teeth, and then they do it. You're like, yay! And then you're like waiting again, and it's like, yay! You know what I mean? So it's literally just like, it's just a wave of emotion. I'm a wave of emotion, guys. I can't handle it.
Oh, 100%.
He brings up a good point. Why, David, do you think that these kids perform better under pressure than in practice? And I'm sure a lot of cheer parents can relate. You watch them all week, it's a disaster. And then they come in and they're just on point.
I don't know. I mean, it's got to be adrenaline. I don't know what these coaches are telling them before they walk out on that mat, but they do a great job of keeping their. Honestly, I think the reason when they take the girls an hour and a half before the comp is because they don't want us talking to them. Honestly, they don't want parents putting the pressure on, because that's who it is. I mean, I think the kids aren't going to put pressure on themselves. The coaches are smart enough to know not to do that. But us parents, man, it's a little like, oh, hey, don't forget to do this, or remember we talked about do this and that kind of stuff. At this point, none of those comments will actually change when your kid goes out there and does it, performs. It's honestly just going to stress them out even more. And they're probably going to focus more on that one thing you said and not the other things that are out there. So it just comes down to that same thing. Let the coaches coach. And as parents, like, our job is to prepare them for that pressure and to keep things light, keep it fun.
For sure.
Yeah, it's 2 minutes decides everything.
Yeah.
And I think that is just so much pressure. We played a football game for 3 hours, man.
Yeah.
And it was a couple plays here and there. And you always say at the end of a game, you know, it comes down to the free throws in a basketball game. And you're like, did it though? I mean, if you had done some other things during the game, you probably wouldn't be in that position.
There's not one metric. I mean, you look at football games, they're like, oh, well, the turnover ratio. There's plenty of teams that lose the turnover ratio and win the game. There's plenty of teams who will score special teams touchdowns and lose the game. I mean, there's not one metric out there that says, if you do this, you know, this is the reason why you won or lost. It's all those plays combined. And we like to try to narrow it down to a couple plays here and there, but
they get 2 minutes.
You got so much time. I mean, look at, honestly, a great example is, you guys will not like this, but the Bears this season, they played 3 quarters of horrible football so many times, and then would just go off for the last 4 minutes of the game and win the game.
Drill.
And it's like, what is happening? I mean, it was like, it was hard to watch.
Maybe that's what it is, because in sports, it's always, do you remember 2-minute drill?
You got a chance.
Everybody loves a 2-minute drill. You see some quarterbacks just do some ungodly things in it. Aaron Rodgers in a 2-minute drill, that man will end a game.
Yeah.
He will dismantle you on the ending of a game.
That's just it, though. With football, you have a chance, right?
Yeah.
I was at a U of A football game, and they were down 4 touchdowns with a minute left in the game. The entire stadium had left.
Yep.
And it was like I remember it was like a movie poster night. So people were making like airplanes out of the movie posters and like throwing them on the field and stuff. So there's just this litter of movie posters in the U of A stadium. And my dad, we stayed because I love Teddy Bruschi.
Yeah.
Bruschi.
Yeah. So we were just sitting there watching them. And I mean, they were down 4 touchdowns, guys. 4 with a minute left.
Yeah.
And they came back and won.
Yep.
And they weren't letting people back in the stadium.
No.
And it was and there was maybe like 20 of us in the stadium, and it was still electric, dude.
Yeah.
This is one of the most electric experiences I've ever been a part of. But yeah, with football, you always have a chance. With cheerleading, Yeah, 2.5 minutes,
Yeah.
guys, and then sorry,
And
that's
if you
it.
fall or slip in the first 30 seconds,
That's
that's
it.
the
Yeah,
routine.
you can't
It's over.
throw
That's
throw
it.
a couple backflips in at the end and make up for it, and all of a sudden now you win. It's all
That's it.
Well, and
it's a
what's
completely
crazy for
different
us, and
environment.
for those that are listening, we don't get 2-day comps or 3-day comps.
Yeah, not right now. Yeah,
Right? We're on a level 1 youth prep. Like these other ones, okay, you get 2 days. Apparently they take the average of your score. Like, all right, day 1, we were a little sloppy. We got to get
Yeah.
in and get 2. But for us, it literally comes down to 2 minutes. That's all we get.
Yeah.
And there is no redo. There is not like a pause or a timeout of like, wait, you know what? We're not feeling the vibe. Can we just time out right here and run that back? No. You have
Yep.
your 2 minutes. And it's not, I think for the girls, it's not a fear of failing. I would say what I sense from them is what you said. It's like a fear of letting everyone down.
Yeah.
Because that's what I would be doing if I was when I become my base and I hit my cheer dad era and I
Yes.
become base.
Are they going to see you this weekend, man?
Yeah.
There's no hiding this weekend. We're coming, Team Rain.
For those listening, we are back at it again. We do have round 2 of daddy-daughter stunt class coming up. We are running it back to support our team on their journey to Worlds. So I feel a little bit better. The money's going that direction. We're kind of helping them out.
I do feel kind of good it's going to Team Rain. That's why I was totally okay with it.
Yeah.
I was like, that's fine. Yep.
Yeah, the asking price, as you all know, is not fun. I was like, oh, dang, like that's the entry? I was like, all right, but it was cool. I'm excited to run it back. I feel better about it. But I think it's just the fear of letting everyone down. If I go be a base, like, dude, you slip, you don't get the person just right. Like, how do you keep going through the rest of that routine just already knowing that's the deduction?
Yeah.
That's what cost us right there. And you're like, dang.
I mean, you can even see it in their faces, though, man. Like if you watch Team Rain, or even some of these other like big teams, you know what I mean, and they have a stumble, you can see it, dude. They
You
like
see it right after it's over.
they're like, oh man, this is it. It's over. Like but what I find cool is that you can kind of see it, but then they get right back into it, man.
They do.
Like, let's finish this out. Let's finish it out strong.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. So.
And I think I changed my you said sometimes you change your answers to the dads and stuff. And I think the coolest part about this season and what will happen during this career is the mental resilience that my daughter is going to build.
Yeah.
I didn't get to build it like that, man. I didn't build it like
Not
that in
that
other
age.
sports.
No.
Even in playing football, doing the sports, I was on track. Like, you get some mental resilience, you do. But I am shocked at the level and intensity that this group is going to gain just in this short a time frame.
Oh, yeah.
Have you guys seen that?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane.
Like, and I've heard recently, like, mental blocks. Some people can't do certain moves because they'll get hurt.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really concerned, right, with the injury you have. Can you do a back handspring again?
Yeah. Can you go back and do it? Yeah.
Because just like with an athlete, you blow out your ACL, your knee isn't the same. Are you going to dunk the same way you were doing the games before?
And it's not even if you get injured. I mean, even Everly today, we were our private today.
Oh, no. Was she nervous?
She was very nervous about doing her back walkovers. Done it tons of times. And the first 15 minutes was literally the coach, trying to get her back into doing it because she knew that that's how Kenley broke her fingers. And so for her, she's thinking, I'm going to break my fingers going backwards and doing this. It just gets in your head. It's the same thing. That happens in football too, right? You see someone have these gruesome injuries or something like that, and you're like, it gets in your head.
It does.
You see someone go over the middle and get wiped out. It's like, also the next ball comes over the middle to you, and you're like, might hesitate for a second. So it gets in your head. It's mental.
Very mental.
It is.
And then I just, let's zoom out this week real quick. I just want to touch on this quick. We won't go deep. But I feel like we should honor it. This isn't just a sport. It was $1 billion industry. Like, it's $4.7 billion. And we lost a legend this week. And we talk about all this, right? Jeff Webb. And actually, with new information to me, my first season here, I didn't go but do a biography on Cheer. I'm still learning. If you did trivia with me, I'd be like, I don't know. What year did the Aloha start? I don't know. Like, when was Jam Fest? I don't know.
I found out about it on a pickleball. I was following an Instagram pickleball, a site that does pickleball, and that's where I saw it. And I was like, then it said Cheer, and I was like, I wonder if this is the guy that started varsity. And then sure enough.
Oh, that's crazy.
4.7 billion. He built the entire industry. He literally birthed competitive cheer.
Yeah.
And all the sports people, shout out to all of you. Megan from Here for Cheer podcast, Let's Talk podcast, Gina and them talked about it. And it was just shocking to me, like, to actually hear and meet a founder of something like that. Like, yo, dude, I don't even remember 1948, 58. I don't know what the article
So-
said. Don't kill me in the comments. But
Yeah,
I didn't know. But something like that. Like
Yeah.
you birthed the whole thing. And now you have varsity in there. We talked a little bit about like the uniform thing. You know, we've got some drama in that. There's
Yeah.
all these things that
Yeah.
for all you don't know, we love to go down our rabbit holes and it's gotten pretty bad. If we had a group chat out there get exposed, you would all know.
Yeah.
It's gotten the size of the industry. Like I said, I
Yeah.
found out, shout out to the Full Out. We got to meet with Joe, Full Out Energy.
Yeah.
Give them a shout. They built this platform that you can actually go in and check your teams, rankings, previous years, and now learning how big these comps get. Like that's how I found out
Yeah.
Worlds had 3,000.
Yeah.
We only had 509 at one. Did you guys underestimate like what our daughters are actually a part of now? By chance?
I did, because that's not, again, my other daughter does dance, and that's not how dance is. Dance isn't like there's this big, company that's kind of running everything. These are all
That's
individual,
true.
independent,
Yeah.
events that are going on.
Yeah.
And that was very interesting to me to find out that all these events that we're going to are all varsity.
brand.
And it's all, it's all, the whole thing is being ran by that group. So yeah, it definitely has a different feel when you figure that out.
Now I know this man over here has thoughts when it comes to the financial element of all of this too, right? We all do.
Oh yeah.
But like we talked about this recently, like on prep, we're probably spending 3 to 5K for the year.
Yeah.
But there's parents out there doing 8K, 10K in this industry.
Yeah.
Some, what I'm finding, when you get really up there, there's a lot of you. We're bougie. We like our, glamorous.
Yeah.
It's gonna be 15 to 25 grand
Yeah. It's
for
gonna be, that's gonna be
all-star
crazy.
levels,
Yeah.
for travel, and like,
Yeah.
is this becoming a sport to you guys? And be honest, like that only certain families can afford because of how big it's getting and where they're going with everything? Do you feel only a certain type of income or family are going to be able to get in the store of competitive cheer as we continue to grow?
I don't know. I mean, I hear that too, and then you'll drive through like a rough neighborhood of some really rundown houses, and you're going to see some of the nicest cars you've ever seen parked in that driveway. So people prioritize different things. It's hard to know. I do think there's got to be something they got to do to make it more affordable. Obviously you could just do prep and you don't do all stars, and it's
Yeah, but
more
your kid will
affordable.
age out.
That's the
You
problem.
gotta
Is
do
that
prep,
eventually
so long.
that's the hard part. Is I think for our age, it's probably not too expensive for a lot of people. It's expensive, but people can figure it out. But when you start in high school, and you see this all-star stuff, I don't know if there's a sport out there that costs as much as this does, to be honest.
What do you think? Field hockey? Hockey?
No, there's no sport that costs as much as this. There isn't. There 100% is not.
There's traveling sports, but they travel regionally, right? They might travel to Flagstaff or Las Vegas or New Mexico,
Well, and in high school, those
Colorado.
sports are included in the school.
Yeah, and they're not flying; they're
No.
driving. Your carpool, your caravanning. They might do one big trip where they go to some place, but most of the time you're driving places. They're flying everywhere. Not one of the places have been drivable besides Disneyland, and you're talking a 6-hour drive.
Seattle,
Yeah,
Texas,
Portland.
Florida,
It's
Portland.
crazy.
It's
Yeah.
like, dude, that's not an easy jump away.
no,
And so when you start to see how big it is, you really start to question everything else too, and get down these rabbit holes and kind of look at stuff. So it's getting pretty crazy. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Jeff, and just the industry. I'm kind of realizing like big industry, but also the community within it is small and mighty. Like we've been embraced. It's pretty crazy. So shout out to it, but shout out to the legend birthing this thing. But at the same time, I got questions.
yeah,
I'm kind of getting into too many things. I'm like, what's going on here?
yeah.
There's too many
Uh,
rabbit holes. in the
Yeah,
many
there's a
rabbit
lot of rabbit holes.
I'd love for y'all to drop it in the comments or let us know next time, like, what's the craziest ones you're getting on. Maybe we'll do an episode on just cheer theories.
Conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheer
that's,
conspiracies.
But Jeff, it is that time.
Yeah.
It is the time where Jeff loses friends.
Yes.
His followers every time. No, I'm just kidding. But no safe answers.
All right.
No walking it back.
Well, nothing.
You're the quick answers. No overthinking. Jeff or me and David will react after. But are you ready for Jeff's hot take?
Born ready, Tom. Born ready.
Born ready, guys.
Here we go.
Water breaks in a 90-minute practice. Necessary or soft?
Okay. You're not going to like the answer that I give to this, but the medical person in me has to stay true to the medical side of it. Water is very important Water is important before practice, during practice, and after practice. It is very important to keep your athlete hydrated. I will not go against that as a medical professional. And I think water is extremely important in any time frame of practice to hydrate your athlete. I just think I can't say that it's not.
Yeah.
And if you were looking to hydrate your athlete, you can grab one of these cups on our Shopify. Hey, Cheer Dads Unfiltered, get your name on there and hydrate yourself like we've been hydrating for the entire time.
Yes.
And we got some dope ones for the kids.
How about that
Yes.
selfless?
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
let's go.
Now, first place in a division of 1. Is that a real win or not? Give it to us spicy.
It's a real win. Let's go. You got first place. I don't care. You're going to hold it high. You got first place. That's a real win. I see all the haters out there going, oh, they only had one team in there. They won. I didn't see you winning. You know what I mean? I saw your team get 5th place, David. It was my team too. I think you get the first place. Wear it proud, man. Put the jacket on. We got first place. Wear it. Be proud.
What if they
Rock
don't
and roll.
hit 0?
Huh?
What if they don't hit 0?
Hitting 0 is a participation trophy.
Yeah.
I don't care about that. Here's your button. Congratulations, you hit 0.
Some would argue that a first place trophy in a 1-person division is a participation trophy.
Some would argue that it's first place, David, and you didn't get it.
You just got to show up.
There it
You
is.
get
All
your
you
points.
have to do is show up. You can get deductions, and you still good.
I would be
Not it.
tempted if I showed up. If we traveled all the way to Orlando, I would show up. I'd walk out on the mat, do a cartwheel, and walk off, and then get my trophy.
There you go.
Right? Why even do the routine?
There's
at
the
that
whole
point?
system.
I can guarantee your legs
Flip
would
the
be
tables.
bent. Your legs would be bent.
Oh, it
and
would
you
be
wouldn't.
bent. It would be bent. Deduction.
All right, I got another spicy one for you. Are some parents living through their kids?
Yep. Oh my God.
sir.
You see it all over the internet, man. These parents, man, it's like, come on, let your kid be the cheerleader. You know what I mean? You can be the support system and step back and do their hair and all that, but nobody needs you in the same costume. You know what I mean? Nobody needs you in the same costume. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Spandex is a right. It is not a privilege.
Oh.
That's
All
why.
right.
That's why I don't wear spandex.
Exactly.
I got a little cheer question for you now. Non-tumbling divisions. So there's divisions where they don't do tumble. Is that real cheer or cheer light?
Let's cheer light.
Oh,
Let's cheer light.
cheer light.
I'll say it out loud. That's cheer light. If you're not tumbling in your routine, join a dance team. Boom. They have dance competitions. We'll see you there.
Woo.
I
Spicy.
should mention that Rain is a non-tumbling team.
Oh.
Brings a nonsense. They're doing
Yeah.
flips and stuff.
No, they're not doing the tumbling stuff.
They're all
non-tumbling.
stunts, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
a non-tumbling.
Yeah.
I retract my answer. I had no idea. This is what I'm talking about.
I was going to tell you to after your answer.
So it's not cheer light. Okay.
So it's real cheer.
If they're stunting like that in there, yeah, that's real cheer,
There we
dude.
go.
You can't hate on that.
All right. Are uniforms becoming more about looks than performance?
I'm going to say yeah, and only because you see some of these uniforms that there's no reason that's a cheer uniform. You know what I mean? Like, look at our girls' uniforms. And cheer, you're going to hate me for this, but our 1920s uniforms that these children are wearing, they're
Ain't it?
stiff.
Mm-hmm.
They have buttons in the crotch area, dude.
Our girls
Like,
hate
how
it.
is that comfortable
Oh.
to be doing cheerleading in? I don't get it. If you put me out in the football field with a half cut off uniform with the little strap going overhead
Mhm.
and little buttons here and buttons there, I'm not gonna be able to perform to my
Yeah.
potential, and I get it. And some of these uniforms are 100% for performance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you can still have the sparkly stuff all over them. And I just think the uniform should definitely be tailored to performance instead of fashion.
All right. Now,
Sherry's gonna be so.
oh,
Sherry, I
we
love you. I love you,
We
Sherry.
you. Is cheer getting too expensive, Jeff?
I do think it's getting too expensive, but unfortunately, I don't feel like it's the gym's fault or even varsity sports fault, because they have to pay people to set up these competitions. They have to. Look at the gas prices right now, right?
Yeah.
So as things become more expensive, unfortunately, other things are going to get more expensive. So is it too expensive? Absolutely. Do I think there should be scholarship programs for some of these children and families who want to do cheer and can't? Abso-freaking-lutely.
Yep.
Should there be leagues that allow children to still compete in cheer that don't, even though they age out of prep, they can still compete, even though they can't afford to travel like the all-star teams? Absolutely. I think there should be avenues for children to compete.
Yep.
Fair enough. I like that. Last big one for you, and we'll bring this home.
Let's do it.
Would you rather hit 0 and lose or fall and win?
Fall and win. Hit 0 is a participation trophy. I can't say it enough. If you don't think it's a participation trophy,
come at him in the comments.
You are not watching competitive cheer.
Okay. So you'd rather fall and win.
I'd rather fall and win than hit 0 and lose. Because if I hit 0 and lose, that mentally, oh man, it's a punch in the gut. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It is a punch in the gut. What could we do better? Oh, you hit 0. Well, you participated. Congratulations. It's a participation trophy, man. They need to take hit 0 out of this whole thing. They do. Take it out.
Yeah.
Take it out. I agree.
Because you're giving these kids false hope by telling them, hey, you hit 0. Congratulations. Yep. It's such
Well, we see the
BS.
comments, right? People comment on even on our posts.
Oh,
well,
man.
it is rigged because we hit 0 and we got, fourth place.
place.
Somebody
False
else had, they had a fall and they won. It's like, well, yeah, but again, look at everything else. Everyone thinks you hit 0, you're going to win. It's just not the case.
We'll have to talk about that in the next one, because that is though crazy though, because we got our deduction and hit 3rd place in our second comp. But imagine if we had our deduction, got 1st, but the other 2 teams were 2nd and 3rd and had hit 0.
Yeah.
You're telling me you wouldn't be worked up?
But it happens, right? We see, the team that we went against got a 98, right?
Yeah.
We got a 94. That's a 4-point change.
There's a lot.
So they could have gotten a deduction, 2 points, 3 points, and still beat us.
Right. They could have had
and we hit 0.
They could have beat it.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
It doesn't,
hit 0 out of the equation.
Yeah, it's not the biggest thing. It's not the thing to focus on.
It is garbage.
Garbage.
It is garbage.
Garbage. All right.
It is the New York Jets
Oh,
of cheerleading. Is exactly what it is. Even New York Jets fans will agree with me. I know they will. You know what I mean? It's garbage.
There are fans? The Jets? They're still
There's
doing
fans,
that?
bro. Well, the tickets are cheap, so
well, we'll bring it home. If you're a parent in this world trying to figure it out, as you could tell from us, so are we. But here's the thing, being a cheer dad isn't just, showing up.
No.
It's understanding what your kid is actually a part of, and that's what we're trying to do, and really grasp it and understand it. We've got more coming, bigger guests, bigger conversations. We're not just cheer dads. We are invested dads, and we are here for every count. So like, subscribe, share, reach out to us, and help us continue to learn more about this crazy world. We're
always listening.
We will see you all on the next one.
See ya.
Bye.
No cap.